Hey guys, Mizio of Man in Black Reviews here to bring you the 2012 Oscar Prediction Vlog. Yes, I did one last year for that awesome group of movies, so I had so much fun with it and catching up for the first time ever that I decided, well, you know what? Why not do it again this year? Because, I've always been a kind of snob about the Oscars. I thought, psh, those movies suck. They're all pretentious and boring, and I have no interest, because I like sci-fi and horror, so screw you, Academy. But, as I just said, last year's group of movies, including things like Black Swan, True Grit, King's Speech, Social Network, Inception, they were just awesome. I pretty much enjoyed every single movie. So, I decided to do it again this year. They weren't as good this year. They weren't as good. But regardless, I stuck with it, and I did it partially because I wanted to see all the movies and once again be up to date, but partially because I wanted to do just this vlog. And look, I even got dressed up for it and everything. I'm wearing a dress. Oh my god, I'm wearing a dress. If you know me at all, you know that's kind of weird for me. And oh my god, I guess despite the vocal cords, that means I'm a girl. Wow. Anyway, I guess all that aside, that means that we should get to the actual nominations and list of categories and such. So what I'm going to be doing is similar to what I did last year, but this time I'm not going to have a piece of paper. I'm actually going to have my laptop with a list of all the nominations and such, which is easier because paper gets loud and cumbersome. This is more, I guess you could say this is heavier and blockier than two pieces of paper. Whatever! That's beside the point. Shut up about me contradicting myself, people. God. Anyway, I'm going to go from, well, I wouldn't say least important to most important, because the first one is going to be writing original screenplay, and that's kind of important. It's more important than sound mixing and editing. But it's going to be from the bottom of the list on the official ABC News site about it to the top. And of course the last one I cover will be the Best Picture category, but we're not getting to that for a while. So, without further ado, I will cover the first or last one on the list, depending on your point of view. And that is writing original screenplay. So the nominees for that are The Artist, Bridesmaids, Margin Call, I have no idea what that is, Midnight in Paris, and A Separation. I have not seen two of these. I've not seen Margin Call or A Separation. I've not even heard of Margin Call. I have heard of A Separation, but I haven't gotten a chance to see it yet. Sorry. I have, however, seen Midnight in Paris, Bridesmaid, and The Artist. Why would Bridesmaid get this? It's not that terribly original. I mean, sure, it wasn't, like, unoriginal to the point of it really is just a Hanover clone, but with women. It really isn't. If you watch the movie, it's actually pretty good, and it's not really like Hanover at all. But that's beside the point. It's just, compared to The Artist and Midnight in Paris, it doesn't deserve it. But Midnight in Paris, compared to The Artist, doesn't deserve it at all either, because even though Midnight in Paris actually did have a creative storyline, well, I'll get to my more detailed thoughts about that movie later, but I didn't like it that much. So, The Artist was so creative and so original that it's no contest for me. The Artist has to get writing for original screenplay. So yeah, moving on from that one pretty quickly. Next up is writing adapted screenplay. And for that, it is The Descendants, Hugo, The Ides of March, which I've not seen, Moneyball, and Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. I've not seen The Ides of March, like I just said 3 seconds ago. I've seen all the other ones, though. Descendants, Hugo, Moneyball, and Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy was, like, the most confusing movie I've ever seen. Maybe I just zoned out a little bit too much, but that's only because the plot did lose me a while in. I tried to stick with it. And I did, I watched the whole thing. But by the end I was like, good God, please make sense. Please, plot. Ugh, God. I mean... So, I guess, adapted screenplay. Nah, I'm kind of neutral to that one, honestly. I'll go with Moneyball because it's my favorite out of those. Moneyball. Yeah, I thought I would hate that movie before I went into it. I really thought I did. I was surprised by the quality of that. But once again, moving on. Next up is visual effects. And for that, we have Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, Hugo, Real Steel, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and Transformers Dark of the Moon. I have seen Harry Potter, Hugo, and Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I'm not seeing Real Steel because it looks stupid. I'm not seeing Transformers Dark of the Moon. I'd rather slit my own throat than ever see Transformers Dark of the Moon. Sorry, guys. Hugo... See, I'd be more inclined to give that art direction, because it's not that the actual visual effects, sorry, I can't speak apparently, were so outstanding. It's just that it had a nice style to it. So I don't think I'm going to give it visual effects. At the same time, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, while the apes themselves did look pretty good, you could still tell they were CGI apes. I mean, sure, they looked good, but you could tell they were CGI. Whereas with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, everything in that movie looked really, really good. The effects were amazing. So I'm definitely giving the Visual Effects Award to Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, and I think it has a good chance of winning that one. Because most people are pissed off that it didn't get more like Best Picture. I don't know if that movie deserves Best Picture, but it deserves visual effects, so I think it's gonna get that. And I forgot to, up until now, at least I realized this early on, just realized I've been saying what I want to get certain things, not what I think will get certain things. So, for writing adapted screenplay, I don't know. Yeah, I think Descendants is probably gonna get that one because it has George Clooney. Everyone loves that movie. And writing for original screenplay, The Artist is gonna get that one too. Because The Artist is like the darling of the Oscars this year. I swear it really is. Okay, next up is sound mixing, and then after that, sound editing. Wow, these are two that I absolutely don't care about at all, but I have to cover them. So, sound mixing. The nominations are Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, or with the Dragon Tattoo. Oops. Hugo, Moneyball, Transformers Dark of the Moon, God damn, and Warhorse. Once again, I've seen all of those except for Transformers Dark of the Moon. Go to hell, Michael Bay. I'm never watching any other Transformers movie of yours again. I had to sit in the theater for 2.5 goddamn hours watching Transformers 2. I thought it would end like 3 times and it just kept going on. So screw you. But, aside from that, we're getting off topic again. I don't know, I mean, sound editing and sound mixing, maybe it's just my uneducated mind when it comes to things like this, but they're kind of the same in my opinion. I mean, I know there's probably a really distinct difference, but overall, I mean, come on, they're pretty similar. So, I guess I'll go with Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Because that did sound really good. Wow, that sounds so highly uneducated. I'm sure a lot of sound people out there are just screaming right now, if any of them are actually watching this video, at how ignorant I sound. But, I don't know. I seem to recall that movie just sounding really good, too. So, do I think it's gonna win, though? No, I think either that or Warhorse is gonna win. Because that's another one that it sounded very good. There were a lot of sounds around, I guess. So, yeah. I would like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo to win, but I think for actual winning, it's between that or Warhorse. Even though Warhorse doesn't deserve anything, but anyway. So next up is sound editing. So we have Drive, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Hugo, Transformers, Dark of the Moon, God damn it, go away, Transformers, and Warhorse. Yeah, I want Drive to win. Because this is the only thing Drive's nominated for, and Drive was a fantastic movie. Better than a lot of the movies nominated for Best Picture this year. If you haven't seen it, go see it. So I want Drive to win, because it also did sound really good. I guess once again I'll say it's probably between... I think Girl with the Dragon Tattoo will win. I don't know. I have this feeling that it'll win both things. Now I'm gonna skip past a couple of these categories, because we have short film, live action, and that's Pentecost, Raju, The Shore, Time Freak, and Tuba Atlantica. I haven't seen any of those, sorry. Then we have short film, animated, Dimanche Sunday, Fantastic Flying Books of Mr. Morris Lesmore, La Luna, A Morning Stroll, and Wildlife. Sorry, I haven't seen those. Then we have music, original song. Two nominees, Man or Muppet from the Muppets and Real in Rio from Rio. I could have gone on YouTube and listened to both of these, probably. But I don't care. I haven't seen either of those movies. I'm never gonna see them in 1,000 years. So I probably wouldn't really be able to understand the impact of them anyway, because I wouldn't be listening to them with the scenes they go with. I would just be listening to them from the perspective of someone who doesn't like those types of movies anyway. That's why I chose to not ever watch them. I probably wouldn't like that type of music either. So if I listened to both of those songs, then it would be me choosing which one would win, would probably be me just saying, they both suck, but this one makes my ears bleed a little bit less. So, yeah, skipping that. The Muppets was really popular though, so I think that's probably gonna win. Man or Muppet. Good. Music, original score. Now we're getting into ones that are a bit more easy to understand. Or at least ones that I'm more interested in. So we have The Adventures of Tintin, The Artist, Hugo, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and Warhorse. I have not seen The Adventures of Tintin. If I was to see an animated movie that came out last year, that may be one of them, because it doesn't, compared to some animated movies, it doesn't look that horrendous, but I know I'm not going to see it anytime soon. So, yeah. And once again, going on YouTube and listening to the music would just, I don't know, I wouldn't be able to listen to it and have the full impact as if I was watching the actual movie with it, so I think that really would make sense. So, I've seen all the other ones, though. And Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, I like seeing that really fast for some reason, I don't know why. But, I kind of zoned out for that whole movie. Not the whole movie. Because I did try to stick with it in the beginning, like I just said, but it was goddamn confusing. So, I don't really want that to win. I don't think it's gonna win either. So, it's between Hugo, Warhorse, and The Artist. Warhorse didn't... it had okay music. So did Hugo. And I know Warhorse had John Williams doing the original score, and you know, John Williams is awesome. I'm obsessive over Star Wars. Believe me, if anyone thinks John Williams is epic, it's me, but meh. The Artist, I have to go with The Artist once again, because since that was a silent film, for pretty much the whole thing, I say pretty much because there are certain segments during the movie where it's not, you don't hear the music. But for 95% of it, if not 98%, the music is all you hear. And it's good music, too. So not only is it good music, but the entire movie is partially riding on it, because that's what has to set a lot of the mood. So, I'm going for that. And I think that has a decent chance of winning, but I think it's between... Actually, I think I was going to say between that and Hugo, as far as what's actually going to win. But no, I can't really remember anything outstanding about Hugo, and plus Warhorse has John friggin' Williams. So I think it's between The Artist and Warhorse as far as what's actually going to get it. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if Warhorse got it, honestly. But, okay, next we move on to makeup. And that's Albert Nobbs, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, and Iron Lady. I didn't get a chance to see Albert Nobbs, unfortunately, because I kind of wanted to see it, but yeah, I couldn't. So, I mean, the makeup in Iron Lady was really good, but there was more of it, and it was more obvious and really good in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. So I'm gonna have to go with that. Even, I'm not really sure which one will win. Because, I mean, movies like Harry Potter win the makeup category a lot. And sometimes it's surprising what does win that category. It's not always the most Academy Oscar-like movie. So I remember last year I was so surprised, happily surprised, but surprised, that The Wolfman won. And that movie was crap. It was utter crap. But it was, the makeup was really good. And it deserved that completely. So, I don't know, I think Harry Potter actually does have a decent chance of winning that. I hope it does. So next we have Foreign Language Film. Another one I'm going to skip because it's Bullhead, Footnote, In Darkness, Monsieur Lazare. I didn't expect Canada to have the most complex name. And A Separation. I haven't seen any of those. Sorry. I'm sure I would like them all. Foreign films are usually really, really good. I just haven't gotten a chance. Now, I'm going to the next page. We're winding down. So, come on, laptop, scroll. Okay. Yes. Film editing. Let me read off the nominations first, the nominees first, actually, and then I'll tell you what I'm surprised didn't get nominated for this, and that when I was actually watching, I was thinking to myself, wow, this is definitely what I'm gonna want to win. But then I went online and looked at this again afterwards, and I was like, what the hell? It's not even nominated? Screw you, Academy. So, for film editing, we have The Artist, The Descendants, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Hugo, and Moneyball. All pretty generic picks. So, I wanted The Iron Lady to be nominated, and I would have put my vote for that, because that was edited really well. Unfortunately, that's neither here nor there, because it wasn't nominated, so... Girl with the Dragon Tattoo had really good editing. That film was very technically good. So, I'm... Either that or Moneyball I would like to win, because Moneyball was also edited very well. So, either one of those I'll be content with, but do I think it's going to win? Maybe The Artist? I honestly think The Artist is going to run away with a lot of the awards this year. At least, I hope so. I hope so. That's all I'll say for now. But I hope it will. But I'd kind of like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo or Moneyball to get that one. Okay, documentary. There are two documentary categories here. I'm not going to bother reading them off because, once again, I haven't seen any of them. I promise next year. I promise you guys, I'll be more prepared. But they also give you only a month to watch all of these movies. They don't give you much time. They don't give you much time. Okay, so now we get into the big ones. Directing. Pretty generic picks again. The Artist, The Descendants, Hugo, Midnight in Paris, and Tree of Life. Tree of Life. So, for directing. You know, even though Hugo was really disappointing, I kinda liked the directing for that. Martin Scorsese has such a... He's a brilliant director. No matter how disappointed I may have been with Hugo, He's a brilliant director. So I kind of almost want him to get it for that. It's between that and The Artist, though, for me personally, because, once again, The Artist was fantastic. And it was directed so well. Most of that movie, once again, sort of like with the soundtrack, it was, like, it did ride a lot on the directing. Because obviously the director had to tell them how to emphasize certain things with hand motions or whatever else. So, I don't know. Actually, you know, I would be content if either of them got it. So, yeah. But not... swear to God. Midnight in Paris and Tree of Life better damn well not get this. Swear to God. And the sentence was just meh. So, which I think is gonna get it. Probably either of the two I picked. Artist or Hugo. Because it is Martin Scorsese after all, so, you know. No one wants to get killed for not picking him. Costume design. Anonymous, The Artist, Hugo, Jane Eyre, and W.E. I have not seen Anonymous, Jane Eyre, or W.E. I don't even know what Anonymous and W.E. are. I know what Jane Eyre is. I've kind of wanted to see that a little bit for a while. I just sort of haven't thought about it. But... I'm probably going to have to go with The Artist with this one. Because it showed that time era so well. It was such a good representation of how they dressed, what everything looked like, etc. So I would really like to see that win. And I think it's going to get it too, because it was just such a great representation of the 20s and how everyone looked back then. It was so authentic and realistic. So I'm going to have to go with that one, and I think it has a good chance of winning. So, yeah. Cinematography, we have, once again, really generic picks. The Artist, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Hugo, Tree of Life, and Warhorse. Yeah. Tree of Life, how do I begin to describe that movie? I'll talk about it in more detail later, and rest assured a video review is coming of it. But, regardless of any highly negative feelings I have about that movie, it was shot really well. The cinematography was really good. So, as much as it pains me to say it, I kind of think that should win, maybe. At the same time, I won't complain if Artist gets it. I won't complain if Artist gets anything, because Artist was a brilliant movie. So, yeah. I don't know, Hugo might get cinematography. I don't think it really deserves it, but it might get it. Okay, so now we're getting to the big ones after this one. Now we have art direction. This is another one where I'm surprised ones didn't get it, as much as I may hate this one certain thing. So we have The Artist, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, Hugo, Midnight in Paris, and Warhorse. Tree of Life kind of should have been nominated for this. I'm just saying. That movie sucked. But it was very artsy. It was so artsy, my mind kind of exploded a little bit from it. So, I think it kind of should have been nominated for art direction, but it wasn't, so that's neither here nor there. So as far as that goes, I'm gonna give this one to Hugo, and I think Hugo will get it too. Because, like I said in the beginning, it's not that the visual effects themselves were so outstanding in Hugo, it's just the overall direction they put everything in. I think it worked really well, and I'd kind of like to see it get that. Okay, so now we're at animated feature film. and I haven't seen any of these, so I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to skip past it. Sorry, animated movies, I don't care about you. Okay, so, now we're getting to the big ones. We have actress in a supporting role, and that is Berenice Bejo, I hope I'm saying that right, in The Artist, Jessica Chastain in The Help, Melissa McCarthy in Bridesmaids, even though she was kind of the lead one in that movie, so... Janet McTeer in Albert Nobbs, and Octavia Spencer in The Help. I was just going to say I've seen all of these, but I haven't seen Albert Nobbs, so I can't say that. All of those except for Albert Nobbs, then. This one is a bit tricky, because Jessica Chastain in The Help, she really was great in that role. Her character was so endeared towards her by the end of the movie. You just felt so bad for her in certain situations, and she played like the lovable, bubbly, outcast character so well. So I'd almost say that I would kind of like her to get that, even though Berenice Bejo was amazing in The Artist. Everyone was great in The Artist. I'd kind of like to see her get that. Who do I think is going to get it? Not Melissa McCarthy for Bridesmaids. I actually don't think either Berenice Bejo or Jessica Chastain will get it. I think Octavia Spencer is going to get it. I don't know, I see that happening. And granted, they were all great. I don't know if Janet McTeer was great, because I haven't seen the movie, Albert Nobbs, but whatever. So now we have actress in a leading role. So we have Glenn Close in Albert Nobbs, Viola Davis in The Help, Rooney Mara in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Meryl Streep in The Iron Lady, and Michelle Williams in My Week with Marilyn. Unfortunately, I also wasn't able to see My Week with Marilyn. I couldn't find it anywhere. I don't even know how to get it. Is it even out on DVD yet? I don't think so. So I don't know how I was even supposed to be able to watch this goddamn movie even though I wanted to. So, I don't know. She was probably really good in it. I don't know though. Sorry, Michelle Williams. I wasn't able to see Blue Valentine either, and you were nominated for that last year too. I think that was the only one last year I couldn't see. Michelle Williams is gonna be mad at me soon. So, I think we all know who's gonna get this one. Let's face it. Meryl Streep playing Margaret Thatcher, showing her whole life. That has Academy Award written all over it. And you know what? She deserves it. She was freaking amazing in that movie. I mean, when it showed her with dementia and then in the middle of her life, working her way up to Prime Minister, she was amazing in that role. So I would honestly like her to get it. But whether or not I want her to get it, she's gonna get it. Believe me, she's definitely gonna get it. So, it's like Natalie Portman last year for Black Swan. Sure, some of the other ones were good, but I think we all knew that Natalie Portman was gonna get it. So, now we have actor in a supporting role. And that's Kenneth Branagh in My Week with Marilyn, Jonah Hill in Moneyball, Nick Nolte in Warrior, Christopher Plummer in Beginners, and Max von Sydow in... Oh, my bracelet is making my hand itchy. Max von Sydow in Extremely Loud, Incredibly Close. I have not seen Warrior, Beginners, or My Week with Marilyn. So I've only seen Moneyball and Extremely Loud, Incredibly Close. Max von Sydow is gonna get it. But Jonah Hill was fantastic in Moneyball. I would personally like to see Jonah Hill get it, but I know he's not gonna get it. I have a feeling Mox Van, really, was that what I was gonna say? Max von Sydow is gonna get it for Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. Oh god, that movie was pretentious. But not as pretentious as a certain other movie I'm gonna talk about later. So, now, a big one. Another big one. We have actor in a leading role. And that is Demian Bichir, I think that's how you say it, in A Better Life, George Clooney in The Descendants, Jean Dujardin in The Artist, Gary Oldman in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and Brad Pitt in Moneyball. George Clooney is going to get this one. It is extremely obvious to me, and I think a lot of other people. Even though George Clooney doesn't deserve it, it wasn't different from any other role he's ever played, guys. He doesn't deserve it. That how it should have ended video with Harry Potter and all those guys discussing the Oscars was right. All he did was walk on a goddamn beach. He doesn't deserve an Oscar for that. I would like to actually see Jean Dujardin get this. Because, oh my god, he was amazing in The Artist. He was so amazing in that. And I know what you're gonna say. He hasn't earned it. But, he was just so good in it. You were so endeared towards his character by the end of the movie. And every little facial expression he conveyed perfectly. So, I would really like to see him get it, but George Clooney is gonna get it. I also wouldn't mind if Brad Pitt got it for Moneyball, because Brad Pitt was really good in that movie. He was just really good. And Gary Oldman was kind of meh in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. I mean, once again, I kind of zoned out for a lot of that movie. But I paid attention to when he was on the screen, and he was meh. There was nothing outstanding about it. I haven't seen A Better Life, unfortunately. It's another one I didn't get the chance to see. But I'm sure it's good. It sounds good. So, now we have the big one. Double big. So, let's see. Best Picture. We have The Artist, The Descendants, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, The Help, Hugo, Midnight in Paris, Moneyball, Tree of Life, and War Horse. Why didn't Iron Lady get nominated for anything? Not anything, but for Best Picture? Why the hell didn't it get nominated for Best Picture? I swear to God. Midnight in Paris. I'll cover that one for a second. That one did not deserve a Best Picture nomination. Does Woody Allen's name really hold that much weight in Hollywood still? I didn't realize that. He married his daughter, you guys. I mean, does he still have that much power? My God. The movie was kind of sucky because the characters were so annoying. Annoying characters, even if the actual story is okay, really takes a movie down a lot. So, that movie is not Oscar worthy. It shouldn't have as many nominations as it does to begin with. So, that better not get it, but I know it's not going to get it, so I'm not too worried about it. Tree of Life. Tree of freaking Life. I watched that last night. I went into it expecting a story. I didn't get a story. I got a montage of nature clips that should have been on the National Geographic Channel. That wasn't a movie. That had no story. Why does it have a Best Picture nomination? I think I'm messing up my hair a lot this video because I just keep putting my hands through it and rage. But I'm not too worried about it because I know it's not going to get it. Of course, sometimes we're surprised with the Oscars, Best Picture and such. So there's a chance. I swear to God, though, if it gets Best Picture, I'm raging so much via another vlog or whatever that everyone in all of America will be able to hear my fury. Just putting that out there. But I guess that's what you get when you have a Brad Pitt and Sean Penn movie. Even though Sean Penn was barely in it, he barely even spoke a word, all he did was kind of borderline look like he was gonna make out with his younger mom on a beach. Whatever, movie. Whatever. What do I want to get Best Picture? The Artist. 100%. There is no question in my mind of what I want to win. The Artist was so amazingly creative and original, and it did what it tried to do so well that there's not even another contender in my mind for what I want to win. Because, you see, what it also did was it fixed the problem that other movies nowadays have so much. Something that I kind of complained about in a review of mine of The Social Network, and I can't remember if I mentioned it in my vlog for last year's Oscars, but there was so much talking in that movie. There was so much exposition. You had to pay attention to every single line of dialogue. It wasn't show me, don't tell me. It was tell me everything and don't show me anything at all, because if I look away for 5 seconds, I'm gonna miss a line of dialogue, or if I just zone out for 2 seconds because I'm thinking about something, I don't know, I'm thinking about what dinner is in an hour from now, I'm gonna miss the whole freaking plot. So, yeah. Of course, that was remedied by the obvious fact that The Artist was a silent film, so it relied completely on showing you things. And it did it so well. I was so nervous going into it. I was curious, so I was kind of enthusiastic about going into it, but I was also like, this is probably not going to be good. But I was really surprised, and oh my god, I love that movie now. That is a great movie. What do I think is going to get it? Probably The Artist. But Descendants also has a decent chance, because I know that's also one of their favorite. I really hope it doesn't get it, because it does not deserve it. Descendants does not deserve Best Picture. Do you understand, Academy? Don't give The Descendants the Best Picture award. Just because it has George Clooney doesn't mean you have to heap all of this praise onto it. You're gonna give him the Best Actor award anyway. Everyone knows that. Don't give this movie Best Picture too. Ugh. I don't know why Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close was nominated. Because it came out in January. Like, later January too. How does that even work? My god. That was definitely just because of Tom Hanks. I swear. I think he had someone threaten to... I think he threatened someone's life just to get that nominated. Oh, Tom Hanks. So pretentious. The Help was really good. That would probably be one of my choices too, but obviously nothing comes close to The Artist. Hugo was so damn disappointing. Oh my god, why does everyone love that movie? Why? What's wrong with you guys? Midnight Paris, already covered that. Moneyball. Moneyball was also really good. I was surprised by how much I liked that movie. It doesn't really deserve Best Picture though. Tree of Life, already covered that. And then Warhorse. That has somewhat of a maybe chance because it has Steven Spielberg behind it, but I don't think it's gonna get it, and it doesn't deserve it. Because I should have just renamed it Joey the Incredible Magic Horse of Wonder and Sunshine. Oh my god, that movie was so fluffy. Oh, god. So that's about it. I really hope The Artist gets Best Picture because it deserves it. And I really hope Jean Dujardin gets Best Actor because he deserves it. He's not going to though because George Clooney's going to get it. I want and think Meryl Streep is going to get Best Actress. So, yeah. By the time I post this, it'll probably be the day before the Oscars, so hopefully you'll have a chance to see this. And I guess I do need to wrap this up because apparently the memory on my camcorder is running out. Stop blinking at me! God! I thought I'd cleared out enough stuff on your goddamn SD card to let me record a full-length vlog. How long is this? Wow. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my Oscar prediction vlog for 2012. If you disagree with me at all on any of my choices, please tell me, because I would love to discuss and debate some things with you. But either way, I will definitely be tuning in a couple of days from now to watch this, because I'm really curious, and the artist better get Best Picture. So, without further ado, hope you enjoyed it. Mizio out.